Hey, what's up, you guys? Tommy here, filming from my apartment in Medellin, Colombia. Just wanted to make this video because just wanted to share the number one myth about salespeople, okay? Now, I used to believe that to be a good salesperson, you needed to be gregarious, a smooth talker, a fast talker. In fact, just a couple years ago, I would have considered that person to be relatively shy, uh, scared in certain social situations, and just wanted to be more confident, okay? And what I've learned in the past couple years working in corporate America in business to business sales or B2B sales and making hundreds of thousands of dollars in my 20s is that that's not the case at all. In fact, that's the number one biggest myth about salespeople. The number one biggest myth about good salespeople is that you need to be fast talker, smooth talker, gregarious, outspoken. That's just not the case, okay? I In my previous job, I outsold people that were 10, 20 years older than me, made six figures consistently for the past 3 years in my 20s, and the number one quality of being a good salesperson is not being a smooth talker, but it's actually the ability to build trust. And the reason that's the case is because if you can imagine, let's say your best friend comes to you and tells you about this great movie that you need to see, or you gotta try this restaurant, or even if he or she is trying to get you to make a change in their life, do you think you would be more inclined to listen to your best friend than somebody randomly off the street? Well, of course, right? Of course. Why is that? Well, it's because you trust your best friend, and it's because of the trust that you guys have. Now, conversely, if somebody approaches you that you don't know, or a random salesperson trying to sell you something, would you want or would you be inclined to listen to them just based on that? Probably not, okay? And the reason is because trust is the lifeblood of all sales. Trust is the currency of all transactions. You need trust to be there. If there is no trust, there probably will be no sale. Now, the number two quality of great salespeople, again, it's not being a great talker, it's actually listening, okay? It's actually effective listening and being present. So what I mean by that is great salespeople are great listeners. They clear their minds and they put all the intention on their potential customers. And why does that work? Well, if you can imagine, if you're completely paying attention to your customers, not worrying about what you're going to say next, that's going to make them feel like you care about them. And if they feel that you care about them, do you think they'll trust you more? Do you think that they'll be more inclined to listen to what you have to offer? Well, yeah, of course. So, number one, ability to build trust. Number two, being an effective listener. And number three, it's actually the ability to ask great questions. Again, not talking or being a smooth talker, but the ability to build or ask great questions at the right time. And the reason why this is effective is because if you're asking great questions, if you're naturally curious about the other person, do you think that's going to make them feel that you care about them? And again, once they feel that you care about them, do you think that they're more inclined to trust you and listen to what you have to say or offer, or your perspective? Well, yes. And by asking great questions, do you think that you'll be able to better understand your potential customer, the person that you're talking to, your spouse or your friend, or whoever it is you're talking to? Well, yes, of course, right? If you're curious about the other person, if you're asking great questions and you're understanding the other person, they'll be that much more inclined to listen to you. Okay, guys, so that was my top 3 secrets to being a great salesperson and the number one myth about salespeople. Okay, so if you enjoyed that, click the link down below. I wrote an ebook called The Principles of Millennial Selling in today's environment where people are just so oversensitized to salespeople, to people trying to shove stuff down their throat. I mean, people are so much more aware nowadays that if you come at them with a smooth talking sales character, they're going to put up their guards. So if you found this helpful or interesting, click below and I'll send you my free ebook on the top principles in selling in today's world, whether you want to be a better salesperson or you just want to be more influential, more persuasive, or you just want to be more confident or improve your communication skills. Click down here below and get this book, because I'll tell you, I really didn't feel like I was great at interpersonal skills or communication skills, and had to bust my butt to learn these things, and it wasn't what I thought it was when I started out, okay? A completely different set of characteristics and qualities that are important in communication, as opposed to what I thought it was. So go ahead and click here and get your free ebook, input your email, and send it to you right away, and hopefully I'll hear from you how it impacted you, whether you agree with it or whether you don't. I'd love to hear from you. Chat soon.